Let's go over the basic of inequality, how to graph an inequality on the number line, and how to express an inequality using interval notation. Starting with a x less than 3, so this inequality is called x less than 3. So we are trying to pick a value that satisfies the inequality. You have to pick something that is less than 3. So can x be 3? No, 3 is not less than 3, right? So x can be numbers like 2.99 and 2.87, 1 half, 2/3, -2, -10, so on and so forth. It must be less than 3. Okay, the next thing is we have a number line. So this is a number line. I have a 0 in the middle, positive numbers on the right, negative numbers on the left. Starting at 0, as you move on to the right hand side, one step at a time, the numbers are getting bigger and bigger. Starting at the 0, as you move to the left, one step at a time, the numbers are negative and they are getting bigger and bigger, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you move to the right, the numbers are getting bigger. As you move to the left, the numbers are negative and getting bigger and bigger. So what is on the left end of the number line? This symbol is called infinity. So I have a negative infinity. So I call this negative infinity on the left end. And then on the right hand side, I have a positive infinity. This is a positive infinity on the right end. So what that is positive infinity. So the numbers are getting bigger and bigger, right? So what is the biggest number you can put on the right hand side? So that means on a piece of paper, write down a number that has absolutely the largest value ever. Are you able to write such number on a piece of paper? The largest value. So I cannot grab any number that is bigger than yours. Do you have such number? If such number exists? No, right? 1 million, I can do 2 million. So let's say you make like 1 trillion. I can do 1 trillion and 1. Or 1 billion, 1 billion and 1. There is always a number bigger than yours. So there is no biggest real number. So as a result, mathematicians use this symbol, infinity and positive infinity, to represent a positive and a very large value. Same thing for negative infinity, right? So this is negative. The number is negative and very, very large. They are not an exact value. Positive infinity is just a symbol that represents a very large value. We don't know what it is, but such thing exists. Okay? Now, x is less than 3. Where is 3 on the number line? Right here. This is 3. So since x is less than 3, the way I do this is I start with a circle and then I look at the number line and then ask myself, hey, left side or right side? The numbers on the left side, they are less than 3, so I will be picking the left hand side. So I will shoot an arrow to the left hand side that covers all the value on the left all the way to infinity. So let's make that straight. That covers all the value all the way to negative infinity. And then how about the interval? The interval is, we will be doing this. So we have from negative infinity to positive 3, right? So you are looking for all the x value, a set of x values that satisfy the inequality, and that set is from negative infinity to positive 3. I should put it right here. From negative infinity all the way to positive 3, I use parentheses. So this parenthesis, because there is no equal, you use a solid circle, and then this is a parenthesis. For infinity, you always use in infinity. So this is called an open interval. Open interval. Because you use parentheses. So in the next problem is a good comparison. What if you have x less than or equal to 3? So x less than equal to 3, that means x can be equal to 3, right? Because 3 is equal to itself. So as long as the equal or the less than is satisfied, then the number is satisfied. So for less than or equal to, I only need one of the sign to be satisfied, either the equal or the less than. So for equal, if you see an equal, then instead of using an open circle, we will use a solid circle at 3. That means I am including the 3. And then you shoot an arrow all the way to the to the left. So the interval will be from negative infinity to 3. Watch, you use an square bracket. So you use a square bracket. I do not want to call this an open interval because this is a solid, because this is a square bracket. Square bracket means I am including 3. So including x equals to 3. Okay, once again, for less than, you use open circle, you use parenthesis. For equal, you use a solid circle, and then you use a square bracket. And then for infinity, I don't care positive or negative, you always use an open circle. Let's take a look at the next one, greater than negative 2. So greater than negative 2 is right here. There is no equal, greater than, so these numbers are greater than negative 2, then I will shoot an arrow to the right hand side, and then this is from negative 2 to positive infinity, parentheses on both sides. And then for the interval notation, so I mentioned the word interval many times, so this is an interval. And then this is an interval. So whenever you say, people ask, hey, express the inequality using interval, then this is what they expect you to do. How about greater than or equal to? So the only difference is we use a solid circle because I am including x equals to 2. X can be equal to 2. And then greater than, these numbers are greater than negative 2. Then I pick the right hand side, shoot an arrow to the right hand side, and then the interval would be square bracket from negative 2 to positive infinity. All right, so before I move on to some practice, this is what the some textbook do, because I'm trying to write things on paper, right? I prefer not to do this. So one thing that the textbook they do a lot is they draw the circle. Just follow my highlighter. They draw a circle on the number line, and then they shoot an arrow. I don't prefer you to do this because like when you write everything on a piece of paper, this is pretty hard to read. So I don't recommend that. I also do not recommend this. Do not recommend they draw a parenthesis on 3 and then they draw a line. Again, this is like way too hard to read when you use a pencil to write on top of a number line. So that is way too hard to read. So for example, the negative 2. So I do not prefer this. I do not want to do this. It's too hard to read. But of course, when you do all the works on computer, everything is easy to read. But when you handwrite your answer, no, I do not recommend that. Like same thing here. So here, use a square bracket, and then you do that. Oh, I don't really like this. It's too hard to read. So I will just put the work above the number lines to make everything easier to read. And then one other thing is, once you are getting used to the number line, you don't need to write every single number out. So let me show you what do I mean by that. So the next one, let's practice x greater than negative 6. So what I will just do is I will just do this. So I will just write, you can write 0 and then express the 6 on the right hand side. So to show me that you understand positive number is on the right hand side. And then you do that. So that is good enough. You don't need to write the other numbers. And then you can write this is x less than or equal to 6. And then this is from negative infinity to 6, close the square bracket. That is good enough. How about negative 6? So let's switch to some other numbers, right? Let's switch to, how about 16? So for 16, you don't want to write all the numbers out, right? So you can put a negative 16 and then put a 0, or you can even skip the 0. So you do that. Solid circle, because there is an equal greater than. So this is x greater than or equal to negative 16. The interval is from negative 16 all the way to positive infinity. So x less than 20, we do that. You can just write 20. I accept that. If you do that on a test, totally good. Greater than, so greater than is this side. So this is x greater than 20. The interval is from 20 to positive infinity. And then the last one is less than or equal to negative 1/2. All right, so negative 1/2. You can just do a negative 1/2, put a 0. I will just optional. Let's just do it anyway. Less than or equal to, so including negative 1/2, and then less than. So this is x less than or equal to negative 1/2. Remember, the matter of left arrow and right arrow. You have small number on the left, big numbers on the right. So when you are looking for smaller numbers, you go to the left. When you are looking for big numbers, you go to the right. From negative infinity to negative 1/2, close the square bracket. Let me say this one more time. Equal, solid circle, square bracket, no equal, open circle, parenthesis, and then for infinity, regardless, positive or negative, you always use parenthesis. Parenthesis means not including that number. Square bracket means including that number. Parenthesis is not an exact value. That's why you never include them. All right, so that is the end of this video. Stay tuned for more videos in the future. Signing out.